Match number 7, our main event of the evening, would see a ladder match with the champion getting a 12-month contract for a shot at any title of their choosing. Now, we had 4 Essex Rescue favourites in the match in this one. We had Richie taking on Paul Robinson, taking on Joseph Connors, and Jack Mids. Now, I knew this one was going to be good from the off. Now, they literally started all 4 men brawling. Mids would send Paul Robinson to the outside, and Connors and Mids would then send Richie to the outside. Robinson, though, would come in. He'd hit a slingshot double stomp to Jack Mids, and then a Lou Fez press to Connors. Connors would respond by hitting a stalling suplex on Robinson. Richie would hit a double drop kick to Connors and Mids, and then Richie and Paul Robinson would use the ladder on both Connors and Mids. On Connors, and then Mids would hit a baseball slide into the ladder to wipe out the pairing of them. Now, all of them at this point would attempt to climb the ladder. Connors would fire Richie into it as Robinson would chop on to Connors. So much. You'd see Mids suplex of Robinson into the ladder, but the rebound of the ladder would actually get him as well. So much going on. You'd see Richie would scoop slam Mids onto the ladder. He'd head up top. He'd miss his frog splash and straight onto the ladder. That one had to hurt. At this point, Mids would hit the Shiranui on Richie. He'd climb up. Connors would get hold of a second ladder, and all 4 men would be at the top of the ladders fighting. Mids would push the ladder so that Richie would land on the rope, split across them. Out. Absolutely not having any kids in the near future anytime soon. Then Connors would tip the ladder that Mids and Robinson were on. You'd see Robinson would put the ladder round his head. He'd go for the ladder copter. He'd manage to miss Connors and Mids, but he then used the ladder to wipe out Paul Robinson, and then use it to wipe out Richie. Now, Mids would then climb the ladder, but Robinson would hit a spear from the top rope into Mids. Absolute insane action. Honestly, we'd see a setup of the ladders. Connors would hit Paul Robinson onto it. Mids would then hit a moonsault onto the ladder. Richie would grab hold of his chains that we'd seen him use earlier on into the evening. He'd hit a punch to Connors. At this point, he'd be going to look to climb the ladder, but at this point, Al Snow would appear. That's right, the legend Al Snow would come out to the ring with head in his hand. The crowd absolutely erupted. He'd wipe out Richie, a bit of payback for earlier on in the evening with Richie cheating, and with everyone else down, Mids would climb to the top and retrieve the article to guarantee himself a contract for 12 months for a shot of a title of his choosing. Absolutely insane way to finish the evening. Absolutely, what a ladder match this truly was. These 4 men laid it all on the line for that contract. Absolutely killed it out there. Absolutely stole the show. You know, there've been some fantastic matches, but this one absolutely stole the show. These 4 men, just wow. Honestly, hats off to all of them. You know, Richie, absolutely fantastic performance by him, as you'd expect from him. The SOS stalwart that he is, always lays it all on the line for the company. Always great top-notch action from him. You know, he can claim he got screwed over by Al Snow. He had it coming, though, unfortunately for him. But what a great showing by Richie. Joseph Connors, you know, there's a reason why he is one of the best on the Brit Rest scene. You know, every time I see Connors, always thoroughly impresses me. You know, the man is a beast in that ring. Always know that you're going to get a top performance anytime Connors is in action. An absolutely phenomenally talented individual that he is. And you can see why he's so sought after by every company within the Brit Rest scene and worldwide. Paul Robinson, we all know how much I love Paul Robinson. Robbo is an absolute legend of the Brit Rest scene. Absolutely insane individual. This was his sort of a matchup. There was a weapon involved. He makes full use of a weapon. He's going to, and an absolute great showing from him, as one would expect. Fantastic, phenomenal talent that he is. But they all came up short against Jack Mids, and Jack Mids, SOS know what they've got, that talent that they've got in Jack Mids, and the man is starting to get about as well. He's such a talented individual. He deserves to be rising to the top of any company that he goes and represents. He's just that gifted. And he you can't deny that he fought this one hard and true, and he walked away with a very hard fought victory in this match. If you ever get a chance to check out any of these four individuals in action, thoroughly recommend you do so for yourselves.